Hello guys, thank you for tuning in. So this is the first time I'm speaking directly at the camera, so it might seem a little bit weird, but everything has to have its first time, and this is my first time. Now, first of all, I want to say sorry for not uploading any MadMan videos for last 3 to 4 days because I was traveling here and there and I didn't have any time to stop somewhere and make the video. So I'm sorry for that. I'll definitely make up for that. Now the topic for today is one of the questions that have been asked to me that you're currently seeing on the screen. So the question is basically, are we controlling technology or is technology controlling us? Right? Now I want to specialize it and take it one more further and say, are we controlling our phones or is phone controlling us? Now questions like this we cannot really generalize. Now what do I mean by that is we cannot say are we controlling, we have to say is phone controlling you or are you being controlled by the phone, because it is different for different people, right? So the question is very clear: are you controlling the phone or is phone controlling you? Now I've come up with three uh, I've come up with three things that you can look at for yourself and decide what is the case for you. Right now, the first: are you using the phone when you have to, or you're using it because you don't have anything to do? Now, if you're using the phone when you have to, then you're just using it as a tool for your benefit. For example, you have to call someone, right? You're just picking up your phone, dialing the number, calling it. You have to listen to some music. There's a need first, and then in order to fulfill that need, you're just using it as a tool. Now if you're using phone that way, if you're using phone when you have to, then you are not being controlled by your phone. But on the other hand, if you're using it because you don't have anything to do, right? Because we eat, we're driving, we're doing something, but when you don't have anything to do, you're directly grabbing the phone and then we start using it. That is what I've seen mostly. Now if that is the case for you, if you're using it because you don't have anything to do and you cannot stay idle, you cannot stay without doing anything, if that is the case for you, then you, my friend, are being controlled by the phone. Now that is the first point. Now the second one is it a conscious decision or does it happen to you? Now let me make it clear. Now if it is a conscious decision, if using phone is a conscious decision to you, which means that you want to use phone and you have a choice of saying no. When something is a conscious decision, then you had a choice of either saying yes or saying no, right? It is a choice. You're doing it by choice if it is a conscious decision. Now if it is a conscious decision to you, then you're not being controlled by your phone. But if it happens, now when I say it happens, let me explain what I mean. For example, now you don't have to consciously decide to walk a certain way, because walking happens. You've done it so many times in the past that you don't have to think twice before walking happens. This body is already used to it. Similarly, when you're driving, probably the first, I mean, obviously when you're learning to drive, then you have to learn how much to turn the steering wheel or how much pressure to put on accelerator and all those things. That is just in the beginning. But when you're used to driving, when this body is used to driving, then you can probably talk to your friends, you can listen to music, you can do whatever you want. Not whatever you want, but what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to think what you're going to do next while you're driving, because this body is already used to it, because it has done it so many times in the past. In the similar fashion, when you've used the phone so many times in the past, you don't have to think that you're going to use the phone. This body just automatically grabs the phone and starts using it. It is not a conscious decision for you. You never had the choice of saying yes or no, right? If that is the case for you, if you just this body just grabs the phone, starts using it before you even know it, because that is what has happened mostly. Now, if that is the case for you, then you, my friend, are being controlled by your phone. Now, the third one, and I think this is the most important one, is your identity heavily dependent on like social media, that stuff you use through your phone, or does it not matter to you? What I mean by that is, now these days for most people, the kind of person they are, not through other people's eyes, but for themselves. Like for me, what kind of if for me what kind of person I am is heavily dependent on what kind of persona I have on social media, how many followers I have on social media, what kind of friends I have on social media, how many likes I get, how many comments I get, right? If my personality is heavily dependent around that, if my identity is heavily dependent around that, then I'm addicted, or I'm being controlled by the phone. Because because human beings are such that whatever you identify yourself with, we want more of that, right? If you're identified with money, then you want more of that. If you're identified with the kind of people you have around you, you want more of that. Similarly, if you're identified with the kind of personality you have on social media, then you want more of that. Now, naturally, when you want more of that, then you're being controlled by it, you're addicted to it. On the other hand, if the kind of personality you have on social media does not at all matter to you as to what you think of yourself, right? With or without the kind of personality you have on social media, you are the same person, not through other people's eyes. Let me make it absolutely clear, not through other people's eyes, but through your eyes, for yourself. If it does not matter to you, if you're indifferent to it, then congratulations, you're not being controlled by your phone. Now, these are the three most important things I came up with. Just look at it, analyze it properly, and come to a conclusion as to if you are addicted to phone, or I mean, if you are being controlled by the phone, or you are controlling the phone. Now, before I conclude the topic, let me give you this experiment. Now, the experiment is this: just for an hour, just take out an hour in your free time, and just put your phone aside and don't use your phone. Now, obviously, you'll get so many urges to use the phone. Right now, let me see, like when the phone kind of beeps, when there's like a notification, you automatically, your hand goes there to grab the phone and see who sent the message or whatever. Just look at that urge, just observe that urge, don't act on it, right? And just do it for an hour. Let's see what happens. Let's see if you can do it. If you can do it, then congratulations, you're on the way to not being addicted to phone, right? But if you cannot do it, then I cannot help you. You're addicted to phone, or you're being controlled by the phone, right? Just try out that experiment and comment on the section below if you can do it or if you cannot. Now, having said that, if you haven't checked out my shorts yet, now by shorts I don't mean what I'm wearing now. What I mean is YouTube shorts, or TikTok, or Instagram, or whatever, Facebook. Just go check them out. I think I've done a brilliant job. A lot of people are liking it. Just go to YouTube, go to shorts section, and you'll see a lot of them. They're funny. At the same time, they have a lot of deep messages to give you. Having said that, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your love and support. If you want to buy helpful books, just go to www.hellomadman.com and just go to helpful books section, and you'll see a lot of helpful books. Also, these days I'm running out of topics to speak because I don't get a lot of comments, right? And I don't get a lot of opinion from people as to what topic I should speak on. So if you have any topic that you want me to speak on, I'll do it. Just comment on the section below. And having said that, thank you for tuning in and thank you for love and support. Keep supporting MadMan. Keep watching my journey. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.